All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're cracking open one of the world's most incredible talent factories, India's premier engineering institutes, the IITs and the NITs. We're going to find out just how this ecosystem keeps producing leaders who are literally changing the game in tech all around the world.
First, just look at this number, 2,85,700 crore rupees. Let that sink in for a second. That's the combined wealth of just 52 unicorn founders who came from these institutions, and that's according to the 2024 Who Run India Rich List. I mean, wow, that is a mind-boggling amount of value creation.
So you have to ask, right? How on earth does a small group of public universities churn out this kind of insane economic impact year after year? Well, that's because these aren't just colleges. They're a system. And today, we're going to pull that system apart, piece by piece.
So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the innovation engine itself. Then we'll dive into the great filter that picks the students. After that, we'll go inside the system, see how it acts as a launchpad, and finally unpack the power of its lifelong network.
Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, India's innovation engine. We're going to start with the results, the output, because you gotta see it to believe it. This is about way more than just graduating engineers. It's about building the bedrock of India's entire modern economy. I mean, just take a look at this. It's a who's who of the Indian startup world. IIT Delhi has given us giants like Zomato and Flipkart, creating over 143,000 jobs. IIT Bombay is the force behind mobility with companies like Ola. And hey, don't forget the NITs. NIT Surathkal is the breeding ground for huge names like Practo and CreditBee, all supported by this massive global alumni base. See, these aren't just lucky one-offs, they are the direct products of a very powerful system.
So how do you even build an engine like this? Well, the story doesn't start on the first day of class. No, it starts years before, with one of the toughest academic challenges on the entire planet, what we're calling the Great Filter.
You see, the advantage these students have is forged long before they even step foot on campus. It all begins with this extreme psychological and cognitive filter that is designed to select for a very, very specific kind of person.
And that filter has a name, the Joint Entrance Examination, or the JEE. Think of it like a two-stage gauntlet. First up is JEE Main, which is your ticket into the NITs. But here's the kicker. Only the absolute top performers from that exam even get the chance to sit for JEE Advanced, the one and only gateway into the legendary IITs.
And this chart, wow, it really puts the scale of that competition into perspective. You've got over 1 million students applying, and fewer than 2% will ever get a seat in an IIT. That makes it one of the most selective, most brutal academic funnels anywhere in the world.
But here's the thing. The JEE isn't just about knowing physics and math. As one analysis perfectly put it, it's really a test of the resilience quotient. It filters for people who have this incredible capacity for hard work, for grit, and for delaying gratification. You know, all the traits you absolutely need to be a successful entrepreneur.
So, let's say you make it through that insane filter. What happens next? What is it about the system itself that makes it such a powerful incubator for talent? Well, a big part of it comes down to a very special legal status.
You see, both the IITs and the NITs are legally designated by the Indian Parliament as institutions of national importance. Now, this isn't just some fancy honorary title. No, it's a legal framework that gives them unique powers and a ton of responsibility.
So what does this status actually get you? Well, it means they operate under their own laws, giving them total freedom in academics and how they run things. They can create their own programs and pivot on a dime. But most importantly, it means they get a fire hose of prioritized funding from the government with a clear mission: drive high-level research and innovation, period.
And you can really see that commitment when you look at the money. For the 2025-26 fiscal year, the IITs were handed over 11,000 crore rupees, and the NITs got over 5,500 crore. We're talking about massive, massive investments that build world-class labs, attract top faculty, and just fuel incredible research.
So, you've got this powerful foundation of elite talent mixed with serious state funding. What do you get? Well, these campuses basically transform into the ultimate launchpad, rocketing graduates into high-impact careers and startups almost from day one.
And the immediate return on investment is just out of this world. In 2025, the highest international salary package offered at IIT Bombay was an unbelievable 3.67 crore rupees. And the top NITs? They're right there in the fight, with NIT Surathkal reporting top offers of 60 lakhs per year. I mean, that is the kind of career start that changes a family's trajectory for generations.
So the big question is why? Why are these grads so in demand? This chart tells a huge part of the story. If you look at the background of unicorn founders, a whopping 81% of them come from an engineering background. Computer engineering is the biggest slice of the pie. This deep technical DNA is a direct result of the institute's tough, hands-on curriculum.
But you know, as incredible as the degree and that first job are, they might not even be the most valuable thing you get. The real superpower, the one that grows stronger every single year, is the lifelong network.
What we're really talking about here is institutionalized social capital. People sometimes call it the old boys network. And for IIT and NIT alumni, it is an unbelievably powerful and influential global tribe. It stretches across every major industry you can think of, from Silicon Valley to Singapore to Bangalore.
And for a new founder, this network is like a secret weapon. First, it makes fundraising way easier, giving you a direct line to alumni who are now investors. Second, you get tailored mentorship from people who've walked in your exact shoes. And third, it gives you what people call a credibility shortcut. VCs see that IIT or NIT tag, and it signals that you're smart and you work hard, which makes you a much safer bet to invest in.
And the sheer power of this network is just astounding. We're talking titans of industry like the chairman of Tata Sons, global finance leaders running the BRICS Bank, chief ministers running entire states, and celebrated innovators changing the world. This is a network that can open any door.
But here's the thing. The world doesn't stand still. And while this elite system is still incredibly powerful, India's startup scene is starting to change. It's starting to democratize. Great ideas and great companies are no longer just coming from a few select campuses or cities.
And all of this leaves us with a really big, provocative question for the future. As innovation spreads out, as it goes local, is this hyper-elite, centralized model really the best way to build a nation's tech economy? Or is it a powerful relic from a bygone era, one that's about to make way for a totally new, more distributed system of success? Now that is something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.